my crafty friends. Well, today I'm going to do the tutorial I promised you on using the wax seals. And this is going to be the one where I actually just use the seals right on the stuff. I'm going to make another video where you use some that you make ahead of time. And we'll discuss that next time. This time I just want to show you some things. Of course, there's the obvious way that you use a wax seal, which is to close an envelope. And, you know, that's the normal thing. I'm not going to show you this again, because this exact same thing, because that's pretty obvious what it is. But that is, you know, one way to use them. And another way would be to write a letter or something and seal it like this. And this would be something you might send in some Happy Mail, or of course you could send this in Happy Mail too, couldn't you? But you could also, you know, have a pocket in your journal and tuck something like that into a pocket in your journal. And it could be a note to yourself or to someone else. So that's another way you could use it. You could also use it just as part of your collage on a tag or an art journal card. This one I used to hold down the feathers. This was glued down, but I used the wax to hold the feathers down, so they're only, you know, held down right there. I thought that turned out really cute. I really like that one. We're going to do another card. We're going to do something different than this, but this is something you could do. And all I did was lay the feathers down and pour the wax on, and then stamp it with the little wax stamp. So that's something cute, and it wouldn't have to be feathers. It could be whatever you want. Another thing that you could do is to put something in your art journal or any kind of journal with this. Just do it right on the book. I will show you that if you don't have something really flat that you're working with, the seals, you know, are kind of wonky. I think that turned out perfect for this. And I didn't mind it on these either, but it is something you need to think about. So that's something to keep in mind, is that when you're working on, you know, like coffee dyed papers and things like that, that it kind of runs, the wax will kind of run before you get it, you know, stamped and cooled down. And so it might not be perfect. I said something to Hannah about that. And she goes, well, you could iron your coffee papers and then it would work better. But I'm probably not going to do that, but you could. Anyway, that's those. And then here's what I did with this also. And this is just in my everything book. I have a couple of other things I'm going to actually do. One thing, they give you these little candles, and these are very shallow, but if you buy the bigger, you know, the ones that you get at Dollar Tree, they're taller and they'll last longer than the ones that come with it. But this is just to show you that it's easy to do and give you something to start off with, and then you can, you know, get whatever you want. But I'm not going to light this until I'm ready to do it, because I don't want to just waste the candle. Another thing you could do with the with it is tie your letter, and this would also be, you know, fun in a journal or in Happy Mail. But I'm going to leave, you know, a little bit of this, and then I'm just going to go, I want to leave enough I can tie it. I'm going to go around here a couple of times, and then go around here a couple of times. And I'm going to just kind of go underneath. Now, you don't really have to tie this, because if you put the wax seal on it, you know, it's going to be taken care of. but I just think it looks cute to already have it tied in a bow. And so we're going to put a wax seal on here. And that's going to be the first one that I'm going to show you. And the wax doesn't all pour out of this. Oh, it also gets inky on the back. Let me clean that a little bit. It's the, you know, from the fire. It's not a big deal, but it is something you need to know about. If you touch it and get it on your hands, then, you know, watch out where you might smear it. Well, let's just go ahead. Now, what I've got here has different colors of wax, and I kind of like them mixed. I just think it gives it a little bit more yumminess when they're mixed. This is just one solid color. So that's why I bought the mixed colors. The next ones I get, I think I'm gonna get the copper ones. They have copper ones, but you know, I had to have the green. And I like a variety of greens, so that worked out well. And then what you do is you just decide. Now, if you're going to use one of these, you need to use at least 2 and probably 3 of these little things. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one of each color. And you just let it, you know, sit like this. And not only is this one, you know, kind of wonky because it's coffee dyed, but it's got a string on it. So I may try to hold it like this when I pour my wax on it. But you just kind of hold it there, and it takes a minute for it to, see if I can zoom in a little bit. Move everything up a little. For it to melt. And you can see that the 3 little discs kind of dissolving, and you want them to dissolve all the way, but it's kind of a fine line between boiling it and melting it. So I let them get where they look like they're just mostly there, and then I take it off and let them finish. Just with the other wax being hot. And you can kind of see it closing in on the middle that's not melted. And that shows you that the rest of it is melting pretty good. So we're not quite where I think I can take it off the fire yet, but okay, let's see. I'm just going to let it go ahead and finish melting that wax and the other hot wax. Almost. Okay. And I'm just going to pour this right on here. And then I'm going to stamp it. And I'm just going to let it, I'm going to hold it a little bit for a second. And then I'm going to let it just stand there a minute until it, blow that out, because it'll be a minute before I do the next one. Oh, I was going to show you this too. All right, let's light it up again, because you need to melt it again to make sure that it's really melted. I've got a little screw, has a Phillips head, and what I'm doing with what's kind of left in there is I'm kind of melting it, and I'm making it get close to the edge. And then I'm going to pour off what will come out. And then I'm going to let it sit just a minute, and I'm going to put this screw in it. And that ends up looking like this, little bitty ones. So you can make teeny-tiny ones, and there are multiple uses for that. I have a couple already planned. Let that set a minute more. There we go. So there we've got our strings all waxed up. And this is kind of plasticky. It's not just wax. So I don't know if you could just melt wax and use these heads with just wax. I haven't tried it because I didn't want to mess them up. But I guess that's possible that you could do that. Anyway, that little bit makes something that looks kind of like a button with thread on it. And so I think that's a cool thing to have in your stash too, is some of those little ones. We'll talk about that more next time, but I think that looks really pretty. And the even on top of the string, you get a really clear impression, which I was a little worried it wouldn't. So that's nice. And so now we're going to do a journaling card. And I'm just going to like put this little picture down here, just like I would. Now you can do anything you want. This is just what I've decided to do with, with this particular card. I forgot I zoomed in. Is to just put this on there, and we'll find some words and put on there. And, oh, I need to ink. That's not part of the tutorial, but it's part of what I want to do on this card. So we're going to go ahead and do it. I should have had it inked already. I just got everything ready before I took Hannah to work, and then came back and to make the video. So I didn't quite get it completely ready, I guess. I think there are lots of ways that we can use this stuff, especially since it is kind of plasticky and not just wax, because it will, it's stronger than if it was just wax, and it, I think it'll hold up better in your journal. Okay, so let's do this one too. Whoops. Okay. Now then. I'm going to just put this right here. That's not very straight. Well, it's not going to be straight. Oh. This is this wax seal supplies came from Craspire.com, and I will put a link to the unboxing video, as well as a link to where these specific items and their website on in the description box of this video. And on the unboxing video, I showed you how easy it is to go there and order. So you might want to watch that if you are having any issues. It's a fairly intuitive website. It's not hard to figure out. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a seal up here to hold this in place. And and so that it'll open like this, which I think will be fun. I don't think I want that covered up though, so we're going to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Okay. I have to re-ink it because I can't have a non-inked edge with all the other edges inked. It just wouldn't look good. But I'm really excited about the idea of using the wax to hold things down. I think that'll be fun. Okay. Now then, let's, I think I'm just going to use this light color to do this. And I'm just going to use 2 of them because I think 3 might be too big. I don't know. That's 3 and it just barely covers it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use 3. Just go ahead. Okay. On the one with the feathers that I did, this one I just used 2. And it worked out really well for that because it kind of made an organic edge there, which I like. Okay, come on. Now let's try this one. I didn't expect it to run out of juice that quick. I have another one if this one doesn't work, but this isn't something you want to do if you're in a real big hurry because it takes a little bit of time, but I think it's fun. And it just adds another element, especially in, you know, mixed media stuff. I have an idea that I have not played with that I'm going to play with here in a minute, and we're going to see if it'll work. But it's just something that, you know, kind of was in my head, and I don't know if it'll work or not. So we will see. But we're going to do these other 2 things that I had planned first. And I think it might be good to glue this just a little bit so it'll stay flat. And that'll make it easier. There we go. It's melting. It's getting there. It's a relaxing process. You can just relax and watch the wax melt. Not everything has to be done in a hurry. So if you have trouble just relaxing and not being in a hurry, then maybe you need to try this so that you can have an excuse to relax. Oh, I was gonna... Well, I guess I'm not. I was going to change heads, but I'm not going to now because I'm already at the spot. Okay, let's heat that up again a little bit. Might as well. I'm going to let it sit just a minute before I put this on. I forgot to do that with the with this one, but I really think it works better if you do. I don't have one of the marble slabs, but when you're making them in advance, and even when you're doing this, I think the benefit of that marble slab, and this is just my conjecture because I haven't read anything that said that's why you use it, but I think it's because it's cold and it makes it harden up quicker. which might be a good thing, especially if you're an in a hurry person. Let's blow that out. Maybe we can get one more out of it. Okay. And I try to take it off. It seems to come off better if it's a little bit, just barely warm and not completely cold, but not very warm. You want it to have, you know, done its stuff first. So there you go. Isn't that cute? I really like it. And then you just take the little screw off and pull up your little button. Okay. Now I want to do one thing real quick before I'm going to pause just a second and see if I can find something. I'll be right back. Okay, I was trying to find a little envelope. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I just made one. It's a little wonky. It's not perfect, but that's okay. You'll understand the plan even if it's not perfect. I do want to ink this, and this is what one way I thought you could use an envelope as a pocket on a journaling page. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink it up a little bit, because why not? Okay. Now then, since we're using this as a pocket and not as an envelope, I'm sorry, I keep getting out of frame. I'm going to go ahead and just glue it down. And then we're going to glue this on it, kind of like this. And we're going to leave her a little bit crookedy, because she's cute, and she'll be cute crookedy. And then I'm going to put this little bit, if I had green, that would have been cute, but the seal might not show up as much, so I'm just going to glue this fabric down. Okay, now let's see if we can get this to stay lit long enough to do one more. And put this with my screw over here so I won't forget. Okay, I'm going to use the dark green. Oh, wait. I want to change. Neither one of these looks Christmassy, but I'm going to use the dragonfly because I haven't used it yet. Oops. Okay. Now we're going to let that melt. Put the lid on my glue stick. We may run out of fire before it gets melted. I don't know. It is melting slowly but surely. I also want to know which way my dragonfly is going. I want it to fly towards her. So hopefully just like that. No, I should have glued down this. I should have glued this one down too, but I didn't. It'll be okay. Instead of watching paint dry today, you're watching wax melt. It's getting there. It just takes a little bit. Okay. Now we're gonna do our itty bitty one here. Okay. There we go. And we're going to let these sit a minute. And then I will take them off and show you. And while they're sitting, I'm going to do kind of a recap of what we've done today. The different ways that we've used them. We've used them on journaling cards, just either to hold down a decoration or to make a flip. We've tied an envelope with string and used the wax to seal it. Just used the wax like it was meant to be used. And then sealed just a piece of paper. One thing I wanted to show you about this one, I had this bolt. And I thought, I wonder if I could use that as a wax seal. And sure enough, it worked. So I tried some buttons. They did not work. But the bolt worked. Okay, so here's this. And then you can just glue it into your page and make it into a pocket. And then you could tuck something like this behind it. And here's our little bitty baby sealed envelope. So I just thought that was a lot of fun. I've got another way I'm going to use them in the next video, but you can do it right on here. And it's a way to use up that little bit more that didn't come out, and when you did their first seal, it kind of just stayed in there, and you just reheat it, and you can make the buttons or the baby envelope wax seal. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little tutorial-ish. Go and check out Craspire and check out their wax, and they have like 100 different kinds of these. And one neat thing is that you can trade them out, so you can buy one handle and then trade out these and save yourself a couple of bucks every time you buy one of these without the handle. So that's cool too. Okay, God bless you and love you.